Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Edward G. Robinson heads overseas in Thunder in the City. Then Betty Davis goes to extremes to preserve an affair in Another Man's Poison. And Leslie Banks fights gun runners in Sanders of the River.
Check out the TCM Greatest Classic Films Collections and Legends Collections today with over 40 sets to choose from at shop.tcm.com or Barnes & Noble DVD locations.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Thanks so much for joining us. For the next few hours, we're going to bring you a number of very fine British films, all with one thing in common. The leads are played by famous Hollywood actors, people we're used to seeing, for the most part, in American-made films. First up, for instance, we have Edward G. Robinson, starring in a delightful but surprisingly low-budget British film called Thunder in the City, released here in the U.S. by Columbia Pictures in 1937. The very same time, Robinson was starring in big-budget Warner Brothers films like Kid Galahad and Confessions of a Nazi Spy. Well, in our movie, Robinson plays a high-powered salesman in the U.S. who's so aggressive, his employers decide to send him to England to learn more sedate, more elegant selling techniques. But once Robinson arrives in England, he discovers he has some relatives there, all of them very low on funds, their only real assets being a mine in Rhodesia. That's when Robinson finds his American-style business methods come in very handy, as he tries to pull off a deal that will be a great help to his relatives, might even help him win the heart of a certain British lass. Now, if you're wondering what one of Warner Brothers' biggest stars, Mr. Robinson, was doing working in England at a time there was very little cross-pollination between Hollywood and British filmmakers, he was there because he was tired of constantly being cast in prison stories or crime dramas back home. He very much wanted a change. So when he was asked to go to England to make this movie, he couldn't get there fast enough. But once he read the script they had planned for him, he was really disappointed. He found the script obvious, predictable, and quite silly, and he complained to the film's British producers. To Robinson's total surprise, they agreed with him 100%. Luck was on his side, because soon after, Robinson in England ran into a friend of his, American playwright Robert Sherwood, who'd recently won the Pulitzer Prize for his play Idiot's Delight. Well, over a cup of British tea, Robinson sat down with Sherwood, told him about the dilemma, and before their teacups were empty, Sherwood had agreed to jump in and rewrite the script. And he turned this ordinary script into a very clever satire, which everybody agreed was 100% improvement. Well, here's the result. A movie also with Nigel Bruce, and in one of his first screen roles, the great Ralph Richardson. From 1937, and for the first time on TCM, Thunder in the City.